وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome to the classes on the Arabic language for understanding the Quran. I'm recording the class for the people who are not able to attend today. I'm going to share the screen for the persons online. Bismillah. Okay, so this is the book. And we finished lesson 1, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. You had some homework. So did you do it? Alhamdulillah, mashallah. Brother Osama, did you send me some of them? Okay. Let's have a look at what Osama sent. This is one of them. Okay. Bismillah. رجل نبي ابن غلام أب ما شاء الله. كتاب قلم. What is that? شهر or what is this third word? Month, yeah. شهر نهر بيت. Okay. Then we have امرأة بنت أخت زوجة شمس أرض سماء نار and ريح. ما شاء الله. This is all great. So these are I mean, the last one I know is more a bit challenging because it doesn't have the term marbuta and you have to search for them. MashaAllah. This is brother Nasser. MashaAllah. Another one is الرجل موسى نبي المؤمن الملك. الملك. These are all accepted as male nouns. كتاب القصر. What is this one? Is it القصر or الفقر? البحر جبل. And then what is this last word? Is it qarash or arash? It's and what is the English one? Is it throne? Arsh. Throne. So arsh. Okay. Inshallah. Arsh. Arshun. Maryam mu'mina malika al-mar'a. Okay. الشمس جنة ساعة قطة and آية. Inshallah. This is it. Now for names, yeah, there are some words that are evidently names of women and others that are names of men, but sometimes we can have some confusion. I mean, because a word can work both ways, can be used for a man or a woman. Word like Islam, for example, in the Arab countries, Islam is used as a name for a man and as a name for a woman. Yes. No, Hamza is only a man. Maybe not in the Arab world. They will not do it. Yeah, because it is very clear that this is the name of a man. Maybe in non-Arab world, because they just like the name. They may have Hamza or Ukht Hamza or Bint Hamza, but not Hamza himself. We have also Jihad. Jihad can be a name of a man or a woman. Iman. Also be a name of a man or a woman. Subhanallah. And then all words that end in a ta maftuha or names that end in a ta maftuha can work for a man or a woman, like Ismat. So Ismat, in fact, the Turkish appropriation of the Arabic word, the Isma, with a ta marbuta. And the same thing is Rahma. Rahmat becomes in Turkish. and عفت, which is عفة, comes عفت. Even مرفت is the Arabic marwa. So most of the words that have got a ta maftuha like that in Turkish, they return it back to the Arab countries as both male and female. So it can be used in the order.
Yeah.
Mm.
With more females.
Yeah. But I mean, there are words that we know from the very first point that these are like names of men, like Muhammad, Mahmoud, Ahmad. And we have words that we know that these are women, like Khadija, Fatima, Aisha. No male will call their boys these names. Okay, inshallah. Next one. Not this. Not this. Okay. See, these are the ones that were sent. Are there any others? So these are the ones. Maybe there are. Okay. Which means that, yeah, some of you, inshallah. Yeah, I have someone here sent. صراط يوم كتاب هدى. Okay, we'll talk about هدى. مؤمن and مرض. غشاوة, صلاة, ضلالة, نار, and ظلمات. ظلمات does not belong because it is plural. We are now focusing on the singular form. And this last letter is not a tam marbuta. So it should be ظلمة, but the Quran does not mention ظلمة, one ظلمة, but it is found in the Arabic language, which is one darkness. But here, ظلمات, it means multiple darknesses. This is the plural. Inshallah, we'll come to the class on the plural. Okay, Jazakumullah khair. So as we said in the first lesson, we had three pronouns, أنا, هو, and هي. هو, he, for male, هي, she for female, whether human or non-human. أنا, I. And then we said أنت, male, you, singular. أنت, female, you, singular. We also looked at words that have عليكم السلام ورحمة تنوين فتح, تنوين ضم, تنوين كسر, as we have looked at the fatha, the kasra, the sukun, the mad, and the dhamma. The second thing we cover in the first lesson is also some of the pointers, because some of the examples will have these pointers. So the pointers in Arabic or in grammatical terminology, they are called demonstratives. In English, we have only 4 words, which are what? This, that, these, and those. 2 words for singular, 2 words for plural. Okay? This for something that is near, that for something that is far. These for things that are near, those for things that are far. In Arabic, we have more than this. We need first to say whether this thing is singular or dual or plural, whether it is male or female, whether it is near or it is far. Okay? And every variation of that will have a different pointer. So for this, for example, which is something that is near, we use هذا. هذا. As you can see, the word هذا has got 3 letters. ها, dal, and alif. But it is pronounced as 4 letters. It is pronounced as if there is another alif after the ha. So we don't say هذا, we say هذا with the same heaviness of the alif. هذا, not هذا, just هذا, which means that in the Quran, when you see the word هذا, you will see a small alif above the ha. It will be like this. And there is a dagger alif, which means that pronounce an alif here, even if it is not written. So ha and fatha, ha. And then an alif, so it is a longer ha. Ha. And then the and fatha, so that. And then a full alif at the end that doesn't need any haraka. هذا. هذا. What's interesting is that Arabs say, Arab grammarians say that the word هذا itself is made of two words. Made of two words. So the ha only means, okay, pay attention. So it is a marker for paying attention, for attracting one person's attention. And then the, so this the is the real pointer. That's why this is the part that will change. And the ha will keep there. What is more interesting that English, we are now talking modern English, but in Middle English and Old English, this, the word this, was also the C. C means look, and the, which is the pointer. So in Arabic, we have the, which is the pointer, and ha, which means see, or look, or pay attention. So exactly the same thing. هذا. So you say, for example, هذا كتاب. هذا كتاب. هذا رجل. هذا كتاب. هذا رجل. Okay. So the word kitab and the word rajul are both male, are both singular, and are both near. That's why we use hada. Okay. Now what happens if they are singular but female, which is still this in English, but a different word in Arabic? Then we use هذه. هذه. So the same thing, we have ha and dagger alif that is not written, and then dhal and a fatha. No, in fact, dhala kasra. The with a kasra, and then a ha, a full pronounced ha. هذه. Okay, so in this chapter, هذه. So this is how it is written. Ha and dagger alif, dhal and a kasra, and ha and a kasra. We pronounce it هذه. هذه. So we say هذه جنة. هذه بنت. هذه. Give me more examples of هذه. هذه صلاة, for example. هذه جنة. هذه بنت. هذه صلاة الظهر. So this is if it is singular and female and near. And as you can see, whether it is human or non-human makes no difference. Now, what about if it is not near, like far? In this case, we will be using that in English, and that in English will be ذلك. ذلك. Now, notice that that is still there, but now the ha has been dropped. Why the ha has been dropped? Because it is not near. So how can I pay your attention to something that does not exist here? If it is something far, or it is something that is not reachable around, there is no point of saying see or look. So I just point to it and I talk to you. So we have this ذلك. Another thing is there is an alif still after that is not written, but it is pronounced. So ذلك رجل. That and then a dagger alif, and then the lam with a kasra, and a kaf with a fatha. ذلك. ذلك رجل، ذلك كتاب، ذلك أمر. ذلك. So if we say that that is the pointer, what about this lam and kaf? In the analysis, they say that is the pointer. The lam is for distance. Is something away from it. And kaf is for addressing the person. So for anything that is far, we will be addressing a person. ذلك. So in fact, the word ذلك means I'm talking to you regarding that far thing. All of this is the meaning of the word ذلك. Okay, so there is something that is far, that is not here, and I'm talking to you with this kaf. ذلك. The interesting thing is that ذلك can refer to something that is far in physicality, that it is not here, or far in status, is higher. That is higher. So even if something is near, but it is higher in value, we use ذلك. So the Arabic language will make two uses of ذلك. They will consider farther or the distance and the physical distance. So something is not here. Then I say, for example, هذا الكرسي. So the word chair is kursi. هذا الكرسي. هذا الكرسي. And then I see a very far away one in the back room. So I say ذلك الكرسي. You don't see it, and you are not supposed to see it because it is far away, but I'm seeing it. So I say ذلك الكرسي. But if I'm talking about the kursi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like ayatul kursi, then I will not use هذا. I'll say ذلك. Not because it is far away, but because of it is higher status. So the opening ayah in the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah says what? Alif Lam Mim. ذلك الكتاب. Right? ذلك الكتاب. Which means what? This is the book. Yeah, it doesn't mean that is the book because you are already reciting in it. So it is in your hand. So it is not far, but it is higher. So we use ذلك for it. The translation said this is the book because this is how English uses it. But this is a special like use in Arabic that we use the word ذلك, which is far, but also for the thing, it can be like far in this way or far in that way, like higher in value or farther in place. The examples we have ذلك رجل, ذلك كتاب, ذلك أمر. So in fact, these are your first sentences, full sentences, full nominal sentences. In Arabic, we have two types of sentences. a sentence that has got a verb and a sentence that does not have a verb. So as you can see, we just looked at هذا, هذه, ذلك, which is that, male. ذلك كتاب. Yes.
Wait, so aren't these like starters in a way?
These words?
Yeah.
These are not just sentence starters, but they constitute complete sentences, as we'll see. Just let me give some more examples on this to close on the pointers, and then I move to the sentence in general.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. ذلك رجل. Okay. Now, the female of ذلك, it is not in the book, but just to complete the piece of information, the female of ذلك, which is something that is far or higher, but it is female, then we use تلك. Or تلك. تلك جنة. تلك أمة. تلك أمة قد خلت. So تلك means that. Or this, but a higher status. From the same Surah Al-Baqarah, at the end of the first juz, the end of the first juz, we have this ayah. تلك أمة. أمة, a nation or a community. تلك. So it means that was a nation, because it is far in history, or this if it is a higher value. But I mean, this is word by word, so they say this. Once we get the verse by verse, let's see. تلك أمة, that was. Translator used that. تلك أمة, that was a community, because it is in the past. So we know now 4 words for the pointers. هذا, هذه, ذلك, and تلك. 2, 4, and all of these for the singular. All of these for the singular. 1 is for the singular male near. 1 singular female near. 1 singular male far. 1 singular female far.
Good example of kitab. Kitab. Can it be kitab?
No. No, kitab is male. So it have to agree. Cannot refer or point to something that is a male except with a pointer that is a male. Okay? So this is one thing for the Arabic language. And this gets us to the sentence structure. The sentence structure, we start with the nominal sentences. الجمل الاسمية. So the word noun in English, in Arabic, word noun equals ism. With the word ism. So when you start reciting the Quran, what do you say? Ism. Bismillah. In the name. So noun or name is ism. So a nominal sentence means that it is a sentence that does not have a verb. Does not have a verb. In English, you cannot have any sentence without a verb. Okay? So think of any sentence, you will not have a sentence except with a verb, whether it is an action or a description. So you say, for example, I am Canadian, you have verb to be. I have a car, you have verb to have. I want to sleep, you have 2 verbs here. So whatever you think of in English, there is a verb. In Arabic, they make a distinction between description and action. If a sentence is describing something, we don't need a verb. So in Arabic, we do not have verb to be. We do not have verb to have. We do not have verb to do. The three big auxiliaries in English, we do not have them because we use a different way of expressing nominal sentences. So what do we use? We use what's known as a subject and a predicate. Subject and a predicate. So the sentence has got a subject and a predicate. In Arabic, this is called مبتدأ and خبر. مبتدأ and خبر. These are grammatical things. You don't need to know them, to memorize them now, but we will be using them. So it's good to get to know about them. مبتدأ and خبر. So the first word that we start the sentence with is called مبتدأ, which is the subject. But we do not have a verb. So the second part would be called a predicate, which will give you the information. So if you would like to say هذا رجل, this is a complete sentence. And for a complete sentence, you can put a full stop. So what did this mean? This means this is a man. This is a man. Okay, so we know that هذا equals this. And رجل equals man. There are two things that are missing here. This part. So we know that we do not have a or an in Arabic. Rather, we just leave the word and it is indefinite. So you don't need to have anything. If you would like to make for emphasis, you can add tanween. هذا رجل. So this is perfectly indefinite. But if you just don't add tanween, also no problem in that. هذا رجل. So where is is? We don't need is. Why don't we need it? Because we just look at the agreement. If the first word is singular and the second word is singular, the first word is male, the second word is male, the first word has got a meaning and the second word completes the meaning, then this is a full sentence. This is a full sentence. So I can say something like أنا كندي, which means what? Then no, you don't need I'm Canadian. Yeah, because if you say you need another word. So say I'm Canadian young man. So I'm just Canadian. So أنا كندي, أنا مصري, أنا سعودي, أنا أمريكي. So this is a false sentence, as we said. So we use that with هذا and then with أنا. You can also say ذلك كتاب, which means, how do you translate this? ذلك كتاب. You need the indefinite article in English. So that is a book. That is a book. We are still having indefinite. We have not studied definiteness. We have not studied what is equal to that in Arabic. So we are still without that. So we do not have anything for a or an, but we have something for that we will come to. So we are still here. ذلك كتاب, which means that is a book. It is a book. Okay. Now, to supplement this or to add to this, and inshallah we'll go to the examples in the book. We said that we have a mubtada and a khabar. Both of them are nouns. to a مبتدأ that is a noun and a khabar that is a noun. So we do not have any verbs. And in fact, for the whole of this level, we will not deal with verbs. Verbs will come in level number 2. But sometimes we will have an ism plus a sifa, which is a noun plus an adjective. And this is a lot in Arabic. So the word adjective is sifa. Sifa. And this gets us to the concept of agreement. One big difference between Arabic and English is that in English, the adjective comes first and then comes the noun. So you say, for example, something like a happy man or a happy wife, for example. In Arabic, you must start with the noun and then describe it. Simply because once you start with the noun, you have set its number, whether it is singular, dual, or plural. Its gender, whether it is male or female, and its definiteness. And then the adjective will have to agree with all of this. For example, a happy man in Arabic would be رجل سعيد. So this is the word for happy, سعيد. رجل سعيد. رجل سعيد. If it is a happy woman or a happy girl, this would be امرأة سعيدة. امرأة سعيدة. Still, if you would like to add the tanween, no problem. امرأة سعيدة. So happy man is رجل سعيد. امرأة سعيدة, this is a happy woman. Which means if you have a noun and an adjective, you start with the noun and then the adjective will follow as a shadow. It will be 100% agreement. So امرأة ends with a ta مربوطة, the adjective should end with a ta مربوطة. امرأة is singular, the adjective should be singular. امرأة is female, the adjective should be female. Indefinite, the adjective should be indefinite. So the examples we have here include Quranun Kareem. Quranun Kareem. So this is not a sentence. This is just a noun and an adjective. A noble Quran. A noble Quran is not a full sentence. How do we know that it is a full sentence or not? Arab grammarians define a sentence as a group of words that when combined together, you can stop with satisfaction. Say this is satisfying. How that's satisfying, you got a complete meaning. أنا كندي. I am Canadian. This is a full meaning. But if I say Quranun Kareem, a noble Quran, what about it? Rajulun Said, a happy man. So I'm not saying the man is happy. I'm saying a happy man. So what's about him? So it is not a complete meaning. Dhikrun Mubarakun, blessed reminder. Ilahun Wahidun, one God. Siratun Mustaqim in Surah Al-Fatiha, a straight way. Okay? So let's have some examples both based on this, inshallah. We can say it, number one, Sister Farzana. هو قرآن. Yeah, so we have the word huwa, which means he or it, because it refers to a human or a non-human, but it has to be male. In this case, the word Quran is non-human, so we use it as it. هو قرآن. Name your sister. سعيدة. سعادة. ما شاء الله. Yes. Yes, it is a glorious Quran. So we have huwa, which is the pronoun. Quranun, this is the noun. And Majidun, this is what? The adjective. Right? It's the adjective part of it. In Arabic, it's called sifa. So Quranun Majidun. Brother? Yeah. Yeah, it is the same word. Here the word, here the word, here the word, but we added a lam. إنه إنه لا. Yeah, so what was this word? إنه قرآن. So the word Quran is here, Quran. We just added the lam. I mean, inshallah, we'll cover this in coming classes. So we have just the word Quran here. إنه لا. This is a lam with a fatha. إنه لا قرآن. And what is the last word? كريم. كريم. Okay. إنه لقرآن كريم. So just as we said قرآن مجيد, we have here قرآن كريم. It's glorious Quran, it is a noble Quran. Brother. هذا ذكر إن شاء الله. Brother Abdul Nasser, are you available? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, can you read number 5, please?
Number 5. هذا ذكر مبارك.
هذا ذكر مبارك. Okay, ما شاء الله. هذا ذكر مبارك. Do we have other people online? See only brother Abdul. Okay.
I'm with
sister. Yeah. Do we have more than Sheikh Abdul Nasser?
Yes, I'm Yahya with my dad, Yahya Nasser.
Yahya, mashallah. Go ahead, Yahya.
Number 6.
Mm.
ما هذا إلا بشر.
Okay, so we have the word هذا, which this, and the word bashar, which is what? Human being. So a human being is the word bashar. Okay. Sister Farzana, say number 7. Okay, so also we have huwa and abdun. What's abdun? Servant of Allah. Sister Saada. Mu'min. Yeah, it means believer. So mu'mineen, the believers, and mu'min. Okay. So now you can notice that there is a difference between saying هذا كتاب كريم. هذا كتاب كريم. This is a noble book. Okay. And then we have هو كتاب كريم. It is a noble book. So both of them are complete sentences. هذا كتاب كريم. This is a noble book. هو كتاب كريم. It is a noble book. So where is the word it is? هو. Because we said that هو can work as he or it. And هذا means this. So this here means this is, it is. Now, what about كتاب كريم alone without any of these? كتاب كريم. What does this mean? A glorious book, a noble book. Why doesn't it mean the book is glorious? Why doesn't it mean the book is glorious? So the only difference here is that the word kitabun kareem or the expression kitabun kareem, if it has 100% agreement, then this is not a sentence. This is just a noun and a sifa. Okay. If there is one difference in agreement, then this is not a sifa. This is not an adjective. And as such, it will be a complete nominal sentence. So if I say Al-Kitab Karimun, now this is a complete sentence. How is that? Al-Kitabu Karimun, what does it mean? The book is glorious. Okay, so you see the difference? When we said the book is glorious, this is a complete sentence. But a book glorious, this means a glorious book, so it is not a complete sentence. So sometimes you will see here that this is a complete sentence. It is a Quran. هو Quran. هو Quran Majid. It is a glorious Quran. Okay. All of this. هو مؤمن. He is a believer. هذا صراط. This is a way. So all of these sentences have got is. Why is that? Simply because in Arabic, هذا is definite. Okay, so definiteness in Arabic. How can we mark definiteness? I'm just giving many things, but to understand the example, definite. What makes a word definite? In English, you can add that. So if you say a book, this is indefinite, any book. But if you say the book, this is a definite book, certain book, a specific book. If I say give me a book, so any book can serve. But if I say give me the book, then a specific book that I need. Okay. In Arabic, we use al. So this alif and lam at the beginning of a noun is the equivalent of that. So kitab, al-kitab. Al al-kitab. This means the book, al-kitab. So kitab, al-kitab. As I said, this is just one way of making things definite. There are other ways. Another way is to give a proper noun, a name. So if I said, for example, I live in Ottawa, Ottawa is definite by nature because this is the name of a city. I gave the name, so it doesn't mean any city. It just means the city of Ottawa. So names of places or names of people or names of countries or names of continents, all of these are called proper nouns and they are considered to be definite. So Muhammad, Ahmad, Ali, Ottawa, Misr, Canada, America, all of these are definite because they refer to independent entities, specific entities. Ottawa. So this is another way of referring to definiteness in Arabic. So the first case is al, adding alif and lam to the word. And the second is just giving the name. The third is using is the pronouns. Pronouns are by nature definite. Because if I say ana, I, how can this be indefinite? I'm talking about myself. And if I'm no one, so who is speaking? Right? So ana is more definite than any other thing. If I say huwa, so I'm referring to a specific person. If I say hiya, I'm referring to a specific person. So all dama'ir, all types of pronouns are definite. All types of pronouns. Okay, but this is not everything. We still have other things that will be considered definite, including demonstratives or pointers. All types of pointers, which is hada, hadi, and all the other that we have not studied yet. These are all definite, simply because I am using them to refer to something. So if they are indefinite, how can we use them to define something? If I say this, I'm referring to the thing. And this makes it very definite. So all the pronouns, all the pointers are definite. All the nouns of places or people and words that has got al at the beginning. Then just for your knowledge, or the relative pronouns. Relative nouns like who, which, that in English. In Arabic, we have alladhi, which means who. We'll also talk about this inshallah in another class, but just to let you know that the relative pronouns are also definite. So these are 5 types of definiteness in Arabic. Now, if I say al-kitabu jadid, what is jadid? You need some vocabulary. New. Okay, so what does the whole thing mean? Al-kitabu jadid. No, because it is not a. We have al. Remember, the. So it is not a at all. It is the. The book is new. How do we know that there is that is missing here? Look at the agreement. These are 2 words. Do they agree 100%? No, simply one has got al, another one has not got al. So if there is no 100% agreement, then this is a complete sentence. And this means al-kitab is jadid. Now, what happens if it is al-kitab al-jadid? How to translate this? The book, the new. So the new book. So in English, you don't need to repeat that again, but in Arabic, you need. Simply because you are following the noun. In English, you preceding the noun. So the in English will work for both of them. The new book. In Arabic, you say the book, the new. Again, why that? In order to make sure we have 100% agreement. So this word al-kitab has got alif and lam, and al-jadid has got alif and lam. The word kitab itself is singular, and the word jadid is singular. The word kitab male, and the word jadid male. The word kitab has got a dhamma, and the word jadid has got a dhamma. No, that's yeah, that's right. That's right. That's why I do not put a full stop, I just put dots, which means we need the completion. We need something to complete with. Yeah. Well, it just means the new book, because we do not have which here. Which is one of the relative pronouns, and if we use it, it will have some other definite thing. In English translation, I mean, this is the difference between languages. In English translation, you have to get the adjective before the noun. And in Arabic, you have to keep the adjective after the noun. In fact, in English, there are some frozen expressions where the adjective comes after the noun. Very few. Like the Inspector General. Inspector General, this is the General Inspector, right? The, what else? The Poet Laureate. The Laureate Poet. Something like this. Very few, which mean that at a time, English language used to have adjective also at the end, but then it changed. The beautiful thing about the Arabic language is that the rules have not changed for more than 2,000 years, 2,000 years. So even before Islam, these rules were there. They have not changed. And the meaning of words have not changed, and the pronunciation of words have not changed. And this makes like a continuation of the heritage of the Arabic language through the Quran and through the classical Arabic texts. In English, it is a very different story. You cannot read a text that was written 300 years ago in England, even if you are a native speaker. It was different grammar, different pronunciation, different use of the words, different spelling. This is the era that they call Middle English, before the bigger, what they call the great vowel shift. So changing, shifting in the pronunciation. And which if you go to Britain, for example, you will see some remnants of this with the Scot people in Ireland and in South London. So getting back to this, I mean, this is maybe heavy, but I mean, we will repeat this many times. The difference between these two, Al-Kitabu Al-Jadid and Al-Kitabu Jadid. Al-Kitabu Jadid, this is a full sentence. Al-Kitabu Al-Jadid, this is not a sentence. This is part of a sentence. In order to make it a full sentence, we need to add another thing. And this other thing should not agree 100%. Because if it agrees, it will be another adjective. So if I say, for example, Al-Kitabu Al-Jadidu Al-Jamil, beautiful. Still, this is not a complete sentence. Al-Saghir, smaller in size. Still, it is not a full sentence. All of these are adjectives. So how can we end this sentence? Yeah, you can say something like هنا, here. Yeah, which means it is here. Alhamdulillah, we finally can take our breath. We finally can feel satisfied. And that's why this is called full stop. You can stop fully and stop and take breath. It's not just any stop, it is a stop that is full. So الكتاب, الجديد, الجميل, الصغير, هنا, all of these are adjectives, and you can go for lines and lines of adjectives. But then you need something to complete the sentence. This will be the predicate. What happens if you make a small change, like removing this alif and lam? This is a full sentence now. This becomes a false sentence. Why? Because agreement has been broken. And if agreement has been broken, this makes a new translation. The new beautiful book is small. Okay. What happens if we remove this alif and lam? Yeah, no problem. The new book is beautiful, small. Beautiful and small. Arabic language, if you have more than one adjective, you don't need to put and. You can just list them. What happens if we remove these alif and lam? Still, the book is new, beautiful, and small. You see the importance of the agreement in nominal sentences in Arabic. So I will say a sentence now, and I would like you to tell me how this is in Arabic. And I will give you the meaning of words. So if I would like to say, the big city, the big city. What words do you need? Kabir is big. What is city? Medina. Okay, so you know Medina and you know Kabir. How to make this? The big city. No, start with the noun. Remember, Al-Medina. No, I said the big city. Okay, so this is an adjective, remember? It is an adjective, right? If it is an adjective, we need how much agreement? 100%. So if you started with al, you repeat the al. Al-Kabir. It is not, that's why I said the big city. I didn't say the city is big. I said the big city. So it is not a false sentence, right? So should I say Medina Al-Kabir or should I make another change? Because now it is not 100% agreement. We need something for the female, which is what? Kabira. That's right. We need another ta marbuta. Because this word ends with a ta marbuta because it is female. So this must end in a ta marbuta because it is an adjective for something that is female. This word starts with alif and lam. This must start with alif and lam in order to describe it. That's why we call it 100% agreement. Al-Madinatul Kabir. Okay. Now, how do we say the city is big? Excellent. That's it. Al-Madina Kabira. So this will be like 90% agreement because we dropped the alif and the lam. But the female markers is still there. So Al-Madina Kabira, the city is big. Al-Madina Al-Kabira, the big city. Another example. The strange man. What words do you need? Mhm. Okay, strange is gharib. Okay, so how do we say it? No, الرجل الغريب. الرجل الغريب. The strange man. The man is strange. Excellent. الرجل غريب. So you just need to practice at home many of these in order to mark the difference. الرجل غريب, the man is strange. الرجل غريب, the strange man. Yeah, so 3 dots means not complete. 1 dot means complete. No, it must end with a tamar. Excellent. This is a wonderful question. So if I would like to say the big house using the word dar. So the house is bayt, but also it can also means dar. Okay? So the big house, what's big? Kabir. So we have ad-dar, which is the house, right? Or the abode. Now, kabir, we say ad-dar, al, because it starts with al. This one has to start with al, al-kabira. Dar al-kabira. So let's look at the agreement here. We have here al, which is definiteness. We have here al, which is also definiteness. This is singular. This is singular. This is female, even if it does not have a marker. This is female, but it has to have a marker. So to agree in gender, it will have to have a marker. So we put marker. الدار الكبيرة. So this is the agreement. Yeah, it will always end with the tamar. Yeah, the house is big. Yeah. So how we do it? The house is big. No, we start with the noun still. الدار, we just remove alif and lam. الدار كبيرة. The house is big. الدار كبيرة. If I would like to say النار, the fire is hot. حامية, نار حامية. You remember at the end of Surah what نار حامية? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing the nar, which is a word that is female, but it doesn't have a marker of female, as حامية, which has got a marker of female. Doesn't say nar حامي, but nar حامية. So النار حامية, the fire is hot, or blazing. This is a complete sentence. Now, what is the blazing fire? النار الحامية. النار الحامية. Yeah, to look at the adjective. Look at the adjective. And we have a limited number of words that are female without a marker. But if you are not familiar with them, look at the adjective. If the adjective is female, then it is female. Word like الدار الآخرة. Yeah, look at this. الدار الآخرة. Which means what? That's right. The house of the hereafter. In fact, it means the hereafter house. The hereafter house. So we have الدار has got ألف and لام. And الآخرة has got an ألف and لام. But more than this is that the dar is female and akhirah is female. We don't see the marker of dar, but we see the marker of akhirah. What is the opposite of akhirah? The opposite here. Yeah, what's here? Dunya. So we have dunya and akhirah. Darul akhirah wal hayatul dunya. Dar means house or abode. Maybe it means like the entrance to a bigger place. Dar. Maybe, yes. Darul akhirah. So all of this, I just wanted to introduce you why we have this is sometimes here, like هو مؤمن, هذا بشر, هذا صراط مستقيم. Now if we come to this, هذا صراط, this is a way. So the word هذا is singular, near, and it is definite. How do we know that it is definite? Because all pointers are definite. Now the word sirat is singular, male, but it is indefinite. So they do not agree 100%. So this is a false sentence. This is. Yes. Well, for definiteness, we have only 6 ways. So I mentioned to you 5 of them. The 6 will come, inshallah, in the way. Oh. Yeah.
So it's changing, right? So it's specific, but every is.
Yeah, is indefinite. That's why the next ayah gives it more specificity. It says, هذا صراط مستقيم, a straight way. صراط مستقيم. هذا يوم, this is a day. If you complete this ayah, you will see more explanation. هذا يوم مجموع له الناس, where people will be gathered. ذلك يوم عصيب, this is a very harsh day. ذلك الكتاب, that is the book, if it is far, or if we said that it is for value or for status, we say this is the book. فصبر جميل. صبر جميل. This means beautiful patience. Beautiful patience. But the translator said patience is beautiful. Now look here. Sabrun. Do we have al? And Jamil do not have al. So in fact, sabrun, this means patience. And Jamil means beautiful. It's not a complete sentence for sabrun jamil. However, we just need to add to this. So we say sabrun jamil, a beautiful patience. However, in the tafsir, that's why the translator added something here. Said sabrun jamil, sabr is beautiful. We translate the word sabr as patience. However, then he tells the story that this is mentioned with Sayyidina Yaqub when he lost Yusuf alayhi salam. So he was saying, I will hold to sabr jamil. my patience will be sabrun jamil. But because he was so distressed, he dropped parts of the sentence. And he just got to the last part. And the last part is beautiful for patience. So when someone says something, then I say, okay, so beautiful patience, which means I will adhere to beautiful patience. So in this sense, it is a complete sentence. But as it stands, it is not a complete sentence. That's why he made like an additional note for this. And this is the beauty of the Quran, that sometimes what seems to give a meaning within the context of the ayat and the story, it will give you more meaning. So this translation is also correct, but as we said, in just looking at it without the context, it should be a beautiful patience. I think we can have a break now for 10 minutes so that you can rest and digest some of these, and then we'll come to more, inshallah. Okay,
I wish we could go back and start everything, but then have that feeling is still. It's a very fascinating how exactly in the situation, but that psychological. That's very common. You never thought about that. Take ourselves that way. Take ourselves that's beyond our cooking questions and expecting that exactly that it's here. It's added. So very on our lives. Not something that other probably as if they were kind of similar. Exactly the same. But then what purpose was and that was like the goal. His purpose is and then it was without stay right to that night. My wife said that she wouldn't find any feelings of it. They want to they knew about it. So she wanted to go to the throne, but the throne was falling. I was there, she was alone with her, that was a beautiful there. So she was there. She was alone, and I think, yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, she was at the back and she was gone down, and I thought that maybe you might find someone. My wife was trying to open the door, but it was locked. They opened. The system has. You have something you can develop some heavy program that which is level not from again with the base of my progress. Then I said, let's do that. This part. Every now and then I keep an eye on the door just to see if anybody's I was thinking about how we were happy with the and yeah, it'd be really nice, like not only brothers and your sisters, stuff. And they do this with that. I know about many things. That's very common. Mindful of the where stuff where not was the mind. Federal boundaries might be restriction that is not supported. So these are things about the new reality under the realm of the Islamic. It's bad because they have to adopt and essentially are lead and by these are our lessons. I was trying to make people, I didn't find the surface. أي هم ما شاء الله أي هم It's one of the things. But you get that thing. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty small. I'm not sure that you have added, and I saw the number that you provided. Yeah, it's already added, but that's where. I don't know. I think it's very everything. Yeah. Okay, so we're back. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. So now we move to.
The books are we just finished.
Yeah, you just finished one. We start now unit 2, although we have already like covered part of that, because when I was talking, I was giving some more information. So inshallah, it will be easy, because most of what I said now will be repeated over 10 classes. So don't worry, inshallah. It's a lot, but yeah.
So this the workbook is corresponding to the lessons.
Yeah, the same book. Yeah, this, the orange one. This one. So,
But they have the workbook as well.
the workbook is for you to do at home, so we will not look at it here, but you do it at home.
your own. So now for unit 2 is mostly about the feminine, and we have already covered this. So we'll just look at the examples. So we looked at رجل, كتاب, and أمر, and now we have امرأة, امرأة with the تاء مربوطة, جنة with the تاء مربوطة, آية with the تاء مربوطة. All of them are female. All of them are singular. All of them are indefinite. A woman is human. Jannah and Ayah are non-human. Jannah is non-human, concrete. Ayah is non-human, abstract. No matter whether it is abstract or concrete, it is still female. And if it is still female, we use hiya. This is the pronoun. Or hadihi, which is the pointer to the near. Or tilka, which is the pointer to the far. So we used hada, huwa, and dhalika. Here we use hiya, hadihi, and tilka, which we also covered, but we are repeating now. So we say hiya mra'atun. She is a woman. Hiya ayatun. It is a verse. Ayah. Hiya jannatun. It is a garden. Jannah. So all of these, or each of these, is a full sentence. How do we know that it is a full sentence? Because we start with a definite word, which is the pronoun. And we ended with an indefinite word, which is any of these. So now this is a complete sentence. So definiteness is important in Arabic in understanding the nominal sentences. So while in English, it is only just to say that something is definite. In Arabic, it has more than this because it will help us in knowing that this is full sentence or not. Likewise, when we say هذه امرأة, this is a woman. So the word this can be هذا or هذه. هذا if it is male, and هذه if it is female. So now we use the female word. هذه امرأة. As we said, we do not have one word for this. We have many words. هذا for a male, and هذه for a female. In Surah Al-Mulk, I think, we have هذه جهنم. Surah Yasin, and Surah Al-Rahman also. Surah Al-Rahman. هذه جهنم التي يكذب بها المجرمون. This is the hell. هذه is this. Jahannam is hell. And it is definite. How do we know that it is definite? Because it is the name. In fact, the word an-nar is hellfire, but it has got a name, which is Jahannam. So it is a proper noun. هذه جهنم. This is Jahannam. This is the exact translation. This is Jahannam. So when Allah said this, He used the word هذه. And in the way the Quran script is written, the Quran scribers, mashallah, are trying to make our life easy. So they add more markers for the pronunciation. So a ha has got a fatha. So we say ha. But then it is not just a fatha, it is a full alif that is not written. So ha. And then the dal has got a kasra, hadi. And the ha has got a kasra, he. But it is not just a kasra. If you continue, this kasra has to be lengthening into a full ya. So if you stop, a kasra is enough. If you continue, link, then the kasra has to be a ya. Hadihi jahannam. So it is not hadih jahannam. It hadihi. So they added for us this small ya, and they added for us this small alif. In people's everyday writing, they will just be writing as I did here. Ada, without any marker, simply because it is a fixed word that is known for everyone. So we don't need to put harakat for this. The prolongation of the word. Yeah, two counts. Two counts. Because this is called mad tabi'i, natural lengthening. Hadihi jahannam. Because, I mean, it is not followed by hamza or a sukun, so it will be just two counts. Let's have another example of maybe hadihi followed by something that has got a hamza. Which word? وقالوا هذه أنعام. So now you see, we added the mad also. This one will be 4. This is mad munfasil 4, and if you are reciting with wash, it will be 6. So it will be very long with wash, but it can be 2 or 4 or 6. قالوا هذه أنعام. وقالوا هذه أنعام. 2. So what was your question, sister? Yeah, because it is female. Now we said that هذا for male. هذه is for female. So when we looked at Jahannam, remember that Jahannam doesn't have a ta marbuta, but it is one of the words that, yeah, so these are the words. These are the words that do not have a ta marbuta, but they are female. أخت, نفس, دار, جهنم, حرب, سماء, أرض, سبيل, شمس. All of these are words that are female without a ta marbuta. And the parts of body that occur in pairs are usually feminine. So yad, ayn, udhun, qadam, all of these are also female. And words that are inherently female, like ukht, bint, all of these are female, even if they do not end with a term. And as I said, they are very few in Arabic, so all of them will not get like 10 words in the whole Arabic language.
That's it. More.
بصبت ها see هذه. I'll get you an example from this. Yeah, I mean, normally you will not have a stop. لا, in fact, we have one here. فإذا جاءتهم الحسنة قالوا لنا هذه. And then يصبت ها. هذه. Without a كسرة, without the yeah. قالوا لنا هذه. If you continue on link, you say قالوا لنا هذه وإن. He. Yeah, you have to pronounce the ha, the kasra, and the ya. Once you stop, you drop the ya, you drop the kasra, and you have to clear the ha because it is weak. So you cannot say هذا. You have to say هذه. So a puff of air has to come out. هذه.
It's where it's similar to this, but it has the but
You cannot stop and have mad at the same time. I mean, if you stop, then you just stop. You make the mad if you connect. But you have an example of هذا, just like this. قالوا ربنا من قدم لنا هذا. Or in fact, in Surah Yasin, we have هذا وعد الرحمن من مرقدنا هذا. Okay, هذا ما توعدون. هذا ما توعدون. Just هذا. Just as I have many things that are with هذا. يومكم هذا. Yes, here we go. وينذرونكم لقاء يومكم هذا. Now you have to pronounce هذا fully because it is a full alif. It is not just a kasra. هذا. You stop. And if you continue, there is no difference. That will happen. لقاء يومكم هذا قالوا. So again, we say that for the female, we use the pronoun here. We use the pointer هذه for the near. And the pointer tilka for the far. Remember tilka, most people tend to forget about tilka. Tilka Jannah. Tilka. No, only female. It's only female. ذلك. ذلك. So tilka is that, female, singular, far or high. So all we have covered till now is only the singular. Right?
what's the next class? The Qibla. Hello.
Next class will be the jewel first.
And then next class.
Inshallah. So one day, inshallah, we'll be there, inshallah. Now, in Arabic, jewel is important. To have two of something, this is a rule, by the way. Alhamdulillah. Now let's have the examples, because I mean, everything that is mentioned here, alhamdulillah, we have already covered. So when we took a longer time in lesson number 1, because this will make lessons after that easier and straightforward. As you can see, there is nothing new in all of these. Alhamdulillah. Now, Brother Osama, inshallah, will share with you a story that has got all the words that are female without a tamar. So in just one paragraph, that if you remember it, you can remember all the words that do not have a ta marbuta in one context. Like a man departed his house, dar, to go to war, and then the sky was something like cloudy, there was no sun, and he had to find a way out. So he makes it in a very nice way. So let's read the ayat, inshallah. Still for time. فتنة. يعني هي فتنة. The word fitna is a temptation or a test, and it is female in Arabic with a term marbuta. That's why we use hiya. And it is a complete sentence. This is. Sister Saada. هي خاوية. That's right. MashaAllah. This is of empathy. أيها. إنها كلمة. نعم ما شاء الله. So ما شاء الله you always have the example with inna. Yeah. Yeah. Inna means indeed. And we have a whole class on inna, inshallah, and its meaning and how it is used. So innaha means it is indeed. So in fact, the word here is here, which is ha, turned into ha after inna. But what we need here is the word kalimatun, kalima, which is a word. So kalima means a word. If I say al-kalima, the word, and this refers to what? Yeah, that's right, mashallah. In fact, it refers to three things. Al-kalima means shahada. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. So say, if you say he said the kalima, especially before death, would say the kalima, which means he said the shahada. This refers to a special kalima, and not just a kalima, a full sentence. It can also refer to kun fayakun, the heavenly word of creation. إنما قولنا لشيء إذا أردناه أن نقول له كن فيكون. إنما هي كلمة هو قائلها. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say be and it happens, this is also al-kalima. The third meaning is Isa alayhi salam. Isa alayhi salam is also described as kalima. So although Isa alayhi salam is male, but he is described with a female because he's very special. He's described as kalimatullah and not al-kalima, not the word of Allah, but one word of the words of Allah, which is one creature who was created by the word, kalimatullah. So which word? Kun fayakun. So Sayyidina Isa was created directly with the word of power, kun. That's why we call him kalimatullah, the word of Allah. Okay, next sentence. What's her name? عارفين ما شاء الله. إنها شجرة. Brother Osama, will you share to the group, inshallah, the story of the... Okay. ما شاء الله. إنها شجرة. It is a tree. One tree, a tree. Sheikh Nasser, available online?
Yes, I am available online, yeah.
Okay.
So the next one is
Mhm.
إنها بقرة.
إنها بقرة. It is a cow, especially in Surah Al-Baqarah. And the son?
Yeah, فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى.
Yeah, so the word Jannah is singular, female, definite with al. And then we have hiya, yeah, which is it is really. And then we have the word al-ma'wa, which is the abode. Okay, Sister Forzana, 7. Tazkira, Tazkira. In the recitation of Hafs, they will say Tazkira. In the recitation of Warsh, they will say Tazkira, okay, which means a reminder. So the word hadihi, female. that's a fixed expression female for هذه and then تذكرها وذاتها مربوط. سعادة. And next one. You 9. Where is Nadro? There is. This is a راء. هذه هذه النار. هذه النار. That's right. So one good thing, as we said in the Quran script, is that they will tell us what to pronounce and what not to pronounce. So if letter has nothing, this means it is dropped. You don't pronounce it. Doesn't have a fatha, a kasra, or a dhamma, and it is not a waw, an alif, or a ya, then do not pronounce it. This means this alif and lam will not be pronounced. But the timing of the alif and lam will be compensated for by doubling the noon. That's why we have a shadda. So how would you pronounce it again? هذه النار. هذه النار. That's right. So we go from this kasra directly to the noon with the fatha. هذه النار. So we do not say هذه النار. Yeah, the alif and lam are written, but they are not pronounced. So هذه النار. This is the fire. Sheikh Afin. هذه سبيلي. So the sabil means way. And this ya then means my. So this is my way. Sheikh Nasser?
تلك أمة أمة تلك أمة.
تلك أمة. إن شاء الله. At the end of Surah Al-Baqarah or the first juz, تلك أمة قد خلت. And the Sunny?
تلك نعمة.
تلك نعمة ما شاء الله. Sayyidina Musa was saying to Fir'aun, تلك نعمة تمنها علي. This is a blessing or a favor that you are reminding me of. So when Sayyidina Musa returned from Madian, and in first encounter with Fir'aun, Fir'aun reminded him, says, Alam nurabbika fina walida. Aren't you the boy whom we raised when he was born? وَفَعَلْتَ فَعَلَتَكَ, and then you did your thing, meaning you killed one of the Egyptians. وَأَنْتَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ, where you were ingrateful. And then you come now. So Musa says, فَعَلْتُهَا إِذًا وَأَنَا مِنَ الضَّالِينَ. Yes, I did it, but I was not ingrateful. I was just misled by the man, the other like people from children of Israel who was like asking for help, and he didn't mean to kill the man. And then Sayyidina Musa says, وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ, and that thing that you're reminding me of, it is in the past now. That's why he said tilka. That is a favor that I confess that you did to me. So because Allah told him, speak softly to them. So he is speaking softly at this very first encounter. الشعراء. No, سورة القصص. سورة الشعراء. This is ألم نربك فينا وليدا ولبثت فينا من عمرك. Did we not raise you among us as a child and you stayed several years of your life in our care? And then you did what you did, being utterly ungrateful. So Sayyidina Musa replies to this saying what? It's time. Doesn't want to get this. Seems internet is something happened. Okay, maybe we can stop here, inshallah, and give you the homework because we're already near to the end. But see. So your homework will be for this class. So you got 5 words that are male, 5 words that are female, right? Now I would like you to get 5 sentences, not words, but sentences that has got هذا or هذه or ذلك or تلك. So any of these, no problem. But it has to be a full sentence, like the ones that we have seen. And 5 others that have got a noun and adjective. And you explain that this is a full sentence, but this is a noun and adjective. We have seen the difference here. So we said Quran Kareem. This is a noun and adjective. Dhikrun Mubarakun, a noun and adjective. But if I say Al-Dhikru Mubarak, Al-Quranu Kareem, or Dhalika Rajulun, this is a complete sentence. And this will be kind of a challenge for you to review all what we have said. Alhamdulillah, we have recorded the class, so you can listen to it again and again and look at the example that we have done together, and then do your adventure with the Quran to get us these 10 examples. 5 that has got tilka, dhalika, hada, or hadihi, plus a noun. If it is hada, the noun has to be singular. If it is hadihi, the noun has to be female. If it is dhalika, the noun has to be singular, far, and tilka, singular female, far. And then the 5 other examples are of full sentences like هذا رجل ذلك كتاب, or including into this also nouns and adjectives. But to say that this is an adjective, this is a noun, this is the subject of the sentence, and this is the predicate of the sentence. We do not have an adjective. You think you can do this, inshallah? Try, inshallah. Yeah, no problem. And it's
not 100%
yeah, that's right. That's it. This is the test that we use. And it is okay to make mistakes. I mean, we all learn by our mistakes. And in fact, this can also give us like intuition and insight into other parts of the Quran, of understanding the Quran. Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.